Hey there! Get ready because today your mind is about to be blown, your childhood beliefs shaken, and you'll probably leave this video asking yourself, how did I believe this my whole life? Buckle up, because today, we're opening that hidden compartment in your brain labeled facts I'd swear on my grandma were true, only to find out, lies, pure illusion, classic grandma level fake news. If you're the type who would bet a whole lunch on some of these facts, maybe it's time to reconsider because today's video is all about facts we all grew up believing, completely untrue. Or, to put it simply, viral lies we all took as gospel. But hey, don't feel bad, you're not alone. The rule today is, no shame. I've personally fallen for almost all of these. So let's get going and discover how many of these stories you've told as if they were solid science. 1. The Great Wall of China, the giant lie you can't even see. You've probably heard someone say, the Great Wall of China is so massive, you can see it from space. Maybe you've even repeated it in a school presentation, at family dinners, or bet friends on it during trivia night. But, you know where this story started? A 1932 comic strip. Seriously. That's right. One Little Ripley's Believe It or Not. Panel claimed the wall was the only human structure visible from the moon, and, just like that, a megamyth was born, before anyone even left Earth. Imagine the cartoonist, just looking to fill a comic strip with cool facts, and suddenly he makes millions believe something flat out impossible. The truth? Not a single astronaut, cosmonaut, space tourist, not even Elon Musk in a test run, has ever spotted the wall with the naked eye from orbit, let alone from the moon. What can they see? Clouds, rivers, deserts, whole cities. The wall? It's like a real-life Where's Waldo, where Waldo is just a ton of brownstones camouflaged in the landscape. This is what the astronauts actually report. 1. You can find the wall, but only if you know exactly where to look, are using super strong binoculars, and get lucky with clear skies. 2. Plenty of straightforward, less epic things, like big highways, airports, or long straight farmlands stand out way more. Why? Because nature doesn't usually make straight lines, but humans do, and those show up much more clearly. So, if you ever become an astronaut, don't expect to spot the Great Wall from orbit. Honestly, you'll get a better view on Google Earth. 2. Salem witch trials. Everybody got burned, but did they really? Let me guess, when you think of witch trials, you picture women, fire, angry crowds yelling witch at the top of their lungs, right? Blame the movies. Turns out, not a single witch in Salem was ever burned at the stake. 0, nada, no one was burned. Of the roughly 20 people condemned during the 1692 Salem witch trials, 19 were hanged and one single man was crushed to death by stones. Totally over the top, right? And about it being all women? Not quite. Men were accused and killed too, along with the believe it or not dogs. At least 2 recorded pups were accused and executed for witchcraft. Imagine discovering in your next life you were once a dog condemned as a warlock. Ever wonder where the burnings happened? That was Europe. Over there, thousands of people went up in flames during witch hunts spanning years. Salem was almost local drama by comparison. Moral of the myth: whenever someone mentions Salem witches being burned, give them that actually, nope, look. 3. The beard myth. Shaving makes it grow back thicker. Ah, puberty, who hasn't heard some uncle say, if you shave, it comes back thicker? Every teen boy barricades himself in the bathroom, ends up with a bloody chin, and believes he's fast-tracking that dream beard. Spoiler, it does not work. Never has, never will. When you shave, the hair grows back exactly as before, just shorter, blunt-tipped, and feeling coarse. That's a trick of touch and sight, nothing more. Actual studies dating back to the 1920s show shaving does not affect the thickness, color, or number of hairs. Yet almost 100 years later, everyone is still falling for it. Why the illusion? Because the razor cuts the thin tip off, making a stubbly, darker-feeling nub. But as it grows, it resumes its natural point. Think about it, if this actually worked, hair loss wouldn't be a thing. Barbers would be billionaires. Moral of the myth: only genetics and, sometimes, medical intervention make new hair grow. Shave if you want, but don't expect magic. 4. Baby birds, touch it and the mom abandons it. Calling all animal lovers, you see a lone baby bird on the ground, and someone always warns, don't touch it. If you do, the mom will smell you and abandon her chick. So you leave it, then watch the poor thing get run over by an e-scooter. This myth is so legendary it sounds like natural law. But the truth. Most birds don't have a strong sense of smell at all. They can barely tell what's human scent on their chicks. And more often than not, bird parents are extremely dedicated, protecting their chicks even through real threats. Yes, if a nest is repeatedly invaded by predators while the eggs are still unhatched, the parents may abandon it. But just a quick touch? Almost never. Caveat: rabbits are much more sensitive and can abandon kits if overly stressed. But birds? Nah. Moral of the myth: if you feel it's necessary to help a baby bird, don't be terrified of that human scent myth, just use common sense. 5. Swallowing your tongue, the urban medical horror. Here's another medical myth straight from every action movie: don't let them swallow their tongue. Someone faints or has a seizure, and the hero rushes in, pries their mouth open, sometimes sticking a spoon in for good measure. But here's the truth. It's physically impossible to swallow your tongue, unless it's somehow detached. When unconscious, your muscles relax and the tongue can block the airway, causing snoring or even apnea, but it's never swallowed. Sticking objects in someone's mouth is dangerous, choking hazards, broken teeth, and real risk. Best case? Roll the person into the recovery position. No spoons needed. If tongue swallowing were true, every sports field would have medics carrying silverware. Moral of the myth: don't try to dislocate anyone's jaw. Just keep their airway clear the right way. 6. Dead bodies, hair and nails keep growing after death. Another dark legend: did you know hair and nails keep growing after you die? Urban legend at every Halloween sleepover. Here's the truth: after you die, your body stops everything. What actually happens? The skin dehydrates and retracts, exposing more nail or hair, making it look like they're growing. The body needs hormones, nutrients, energy, none of which are running after death. Only in zombie movies does your hair keep going. Moral of the myth: hair and nails only grow on the living, and the very, very undead. 7. The turkey sleep effect: turkey makes you sleepy. American Thanksgiving, family over, and someone's conked out in the armchair, it was the turkey. This myth is so widespread, it's basically culinary folklore. Supposedly, it's the tryptophan in turkey that knocks you out. Well, turkey has about the same tryptophan as chicken or ground beef. Cheese and pork have even more. And tryptophan only acts as a sleep inducer when eaten alone and on an empty stomach. At Thanksgiving, people are eating piles of stuffing, potatoes, pie, and wine, so the drowsiness? That's your body shunting blood to your gut to digest the feast, not just one slice of turkey. Moral of the myth: don't blame the turkey, blame the feast, and maybe the afternoon beer. 8. The 10% brain power myth. This one is almost a religion. How many books, movies, and get-rich-quick gurus have you seen claiming, unlock your hidden potential, use the other 90% of your brain? The earliest roots? Way back in 1907, eventually hyped by the self-help industry. But science is clear: brain scans, tests, and damage studies show that basically all of your brain is active every day. Even while sleeping, big areas are hard at work keeping you alive, breathing, circulating hormones, dreaming, moving. If only 10% of your brain worked, walking and talking would be the least of your problems, more like barely existing. Moral of the myth: congrats, you're using 100% of that brain matter. Hang in there, even if it doesn't feel like it during math class. 9. Sleep-eating spiders, you'll swallow 8 spiders a year. Classic sleepover trivia: did you know you swallow 8 spiders a year while sleeping? The truth: zero scientific evidence backs this up. Spiders usually avoid humans, our breathing and movement scare them away. The real origin was probably a 1993 magazine column proving how quickly fake facts become urban legends. Moral of the myth: if you dream about spiders crawling in your mouth, it's your brain trolling you. Mouth guards not required. 10. Popeye's spinach, the iron power that never was. We all grew up hearing, eat your spinach. It's loaded with iron. Thanks, Popeye. So why isn't everyone hitting the gym powered by spinach? Turns out, beans, lentils, and meats contain much more iron, and most of the iron in spinach is barely absorbed by humans due to a pesky substance called oxalate. Who started this myth? A scientist's typo that added a 0 to spinach's iron value in a report. The rest is pop culture history thanks to Popeye. Moral of the myth: eat spinach for the vitamins, not iron muscle. Never underestimate a typo. 11. The myth: lightning never strikes the same place twice. You know that uncle at the barbecue who says, "Relax, a lightning bolt already struck there, it won't happen again." This myth is everywhere, that lightning never strikes the same place twice. The truth? If there's something that loves a repeat performance, it's lightning. Just look at skyscrapers, transmission towers, and even the Christ the Redeemer statue in Rio, all get struck dozens of times a year. The Empire State Building in New York is hit about 20 to 25 times every year. Why? Lightning loves the easiest path, and it's always going to aim for the tallest or most metallic object again and again. Moral of the story: if you think you're safe just because lightning already struck here, you might want to rethink that confidence, and maybe stay away from lightning rods. 12. The sugar myth: eating too much sugar makes kids hyperactive. An absolute classic at kids' parties and family gatherings. Don't give that child any more candy, they'll go hyper. No judgment after the cake, it really does look like the kids switch into turbo mode. But serious studies, and some skeptical parents, have shown that sugar doesn't actually cause hyperactivity in children. What's really happening at parties is that kids are already excited, surrounded by friends, playing and jumping around, and someone decided to blame the candy. The placebo effect makes adults see kids as more hyper just because they know they ate sweets. In summary, excitement, the environment, and all the fun make the kids burst with energy, not the sugar itself. Moral of the myth: maybe hold back on the candy to avoid a tummy ache, but you don't need to blame the cake for the chaos. So, how many of these myths did you believe? Let me know in the comments which one fooled you hardest or which you've repeated to your family. If this video made you question your reality, don't worry, next generation will find a way to believe it all again. If you want to see even more myths busted, go ahead and hit like and tell me you want a part 2. And subscribe for new videos every week. Here, you'll laugh, learn, and always have a new fact to impress or annoy your family group chat. Thanks so much for watching. Always check before you share. See you in the next episode of Facts We All Grew Up Believing, completely untrue.